Hello, everybody. This is Preston Poulter here with Pocket Jazz Comics, and we have the usual suspects. We got Vicky, we got John, and Tony is coming back to give us a try again. Haven't seen you in a while, big guy.
Yeah. I've just been hard at work trying to focus on writing rather than getting critiques. I haven't really had enough stuff written up to get another critique yet, but
yeah,
now I do.
All right, fantastic. So, good. And so what I was thinking, because Cat Kid, that's the first thing you got to do in Cat Kid is you got to choose a tone. You know, you got to go, okay, here's what I want the audience to feel. You know,
right?
And I feel like the first time out of the gate, it didn't really have that. Like I really didn't know how I was supposed to feel. I felt a little meh, but now. I think, I have you selected a tone? Do you know what you're going for?
I guess not straight up horror comedy, but like lightheartedness. Not exactly like as light as say something like Buffy, but it has that sort of buddy cop feel to it. I wanted to I think that one of the biggest things for me, well, I mean, we'll get into that when we get to that, but some of the character writing, I was struggling with some of those, but I think I'm finally at a point where I know these characters a bit better.
Okay. And by the way, everyone out there in the listening audience, all right, let me just go ahead and take a minute to address current events. All right, so, hello, Big Steve. Welcome. In the past couple of months or so, it's the Writer Squad. I've been promoting a wiki and a Discord server for the writers group, and I recently switched Discord servers because I realized I wasn't the server owner. So, I should be the server owner if it's going to be my Discord. So I set up a new one. Link should be down in the description, and I think I'm getting better at those invites, so that invite should be good whenever you see it, regardless of how many thousands of people are like, oh yes, I have to go hang out in Preston's Discord server. It's going to be cool. It's going to be groovy. Vicky, I'm sure is going to be there, right? You wouldn't desert me like that.
I'm already there, darling.
Exactly, of course. The lovely Vicky will be there. And some people are like, what is it like to talk to an actual woman who likes comic books? Vicky will be there to answer that question. So, come on down to the Discord. It'll be cool. But then in regards to the wiki, now there was some drama, but the drama honestly is unimportant. The upshot from the drama is that we basically had one of the judges, Zombie, kind of ended up dropping out of the contest. And so that's why I'm just going to have Vicky be the one who reads the scripts and judges it, and I'm the one paying the $2,000, so it'll go pretty smoothly. But the wiki also had this rule that everything that was published there had to be available for absolutely free distribution, including for commercial use, as well as adaptation. So anything that we put there couldn't be, subject to any form of copyright protection in any way. If somebody else wanted to take it, print it off directly and sell it, or take all the concepts and use it themselves and sell it. And, that wasn't the idea for us putting things there. It was that the artist would have a bit more control than that. And the wiki, people who ran that just didn't like that idea. They wanted everything to be under their blanket user agreement, which allowed for unlimited anything. So I'm going to be setting up, most likely on my own website, Pocket Jazz Comics, which, has just been, a website I set up once and forgot about. And it's just there collecting email addresses for me and, cool stuff like that. But, yes, if you go and join the Writers Discord, I set up a new one. I'm answering Moby here. Yeah, so I set up a Writers Discord, and or Vicky, if you could message him on Discord. But yeah, if you join the new writers Discord server, there should be a link in the server links tab. I set up my own tab for it because it is, a popular question. And then you can jump on. Or here, let me not be dense about it. I'll also just post the invite to the chat, but don't want a bunch of random people showing up.
Yeah, always a bad idea.
Yeah. Okay, there it is. All right. So anyway, I'm going to be setting up on PocketJax a knowledge base to replace the wiki, and that will be under my direct control, which will avoid any future drama happenings. And we can put up whatever kind of legal protections we want. It's our own place. We can set our own rules, and so that'll be the way forward here in the next 2 or 3 months. I'm more familiar with WordPress than I am the wiki thing, and the more I think about it, the more I like WordPress, because what you can do with WordPress is you can not only set up like knowledge stuff. Hello.
Oh, what's up, dude?
How you doing? You can not only set up a knowledge base, like which is what we had. You can also set up e-commerce. So like it could, like if somebody wants to list, their titles there in relation to the character that they're encouraging other people to use, then you've got this e-commerce platform where they can directly monetize it, and I can work out back end deals where they get a percentage of sales off their own book, that kind of stuff. So WordPress allows you to do that. It has that much modality to it, and I think that's probably where I want to go. But still, I will nevertheless take a look at some of the wikis if I get too frustrated with setting up a WordPress knowledge base. But that's my plan today. And because it will take a few months to get a yes or no on this trademark issue, I am setting up a new trademark in the meantime to publish the shared universe stuff. And I'm going to call that Figures of Legend, because this has a nice ring to it. And we're introducing, these figures like Turbine or the Wizard's Daughter or Cat Kid. These figures are so legendary, you should also. But here's the thing about Legend is the Legend doesn't really have a canon. If you look at the story of Cinderella, I don't know if anybody's read White Lily 5, but in White Lily 5, I show what the Ukrainian version of Cinderella is, and it is dramatically different.
Well, the original version of Cinderella was dramatically different as well. So
right, and so Cinderella is basically like a figure of legend. Yes, you heard the Disney version, but there are many other stories of Cinderella in all these different cultures, including the Ukrainian one where she was known as Vasilisa. So I thought that was a clever name because it kind of shows that we're avoiding a direct hammered down canon for our characters, and those that have more flexibility. For instance, Larry, who was doing Erebus, he bought Guinevere 1 and 2 because he wanted to see maybe if he could work some of those elements into the Samuel Erebus story. And he's like, okay, I see you've got spirituality and you've got demons in your book, but I'm thinking of maybe taking the spirituality of your world in a different direction in my story. I'm like, you're completely allowed to do that. That's totally fine. You don't have to observe the conventions that I put forward in, Guinevere and the Divinity Factory. You can have kind of a different interpretation of, the spirit world and how it interfaces and all that stuff. So, and once we get a few books out there and people seem to find what they like, then a world will take shape, and the visions I've been talking about will be realized, just in a slightly different mechanism. So that's just an update for everyone.
Moby, are you going to be presenting tonight? Or are you just hanging out with us?
Oh no, I'll present. There's a new book I got.
All right.
More violent.
So are you?
You're really muffled, by the way.
Yeah, you are.
Is your microphone plugged all the way in? Make sure the microphone jack's not half hanging out.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
There you go. There you go.
I thought that's what it sounded like.
All right. So, Moby, do I need to go to the old writers group and see the Tyanus sample from a while ago? Let's see, when was that? Looks like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I have that one. If that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Welcome back.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay.
Much better, darling.
Thank you.
So, do we need to go to the old writers group for the Tyanus pages from a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
Because I have that. I'd already downloaded it. Perfect.
All right.
Now I feel like I'm prepared.
No title page should be included with this template.
Yeah.
All right. Ah, there we go. Okay. There we go. All right. So let me share this with the. All right. Meanwhile, Moby, you're familiar with what we're gonna see. You want to assign the parts, rather?
Well, I mean, there ain't that many. I mean,
Okay.
you could take for the most part, there's probably gonna be 3 characters. You know?
Okay.
It's not that much talking on this stuff. You know, a lot of violence. You know?
Okay.
I like it already.
Yeah. So who's the narrator?
You know, I'll be the. You could be the narrator.
Okay. I'll be the narrator. All right. And who's Lizard Arkin?
Oh, that's Lars.
Lars.
I just had to spell it. You know, they're
Yeah.
different. Not bad.
Who is that?
Oh, that's the main character.
Yeah, but who's going to be voicing that character?
That could be my man John.
All right, John.
All right.
And then we got a thug. Who should be the thug? Thug 1 and thug 3. We need thug 1 and thug 3.
Could be Tony. Tony, you know.
All right, Tony, you're thug 1 and thug 3.
All right.
I get a very thuggish vibe from Tony.
That's right. Okay. And
Thank you.
yeah, and is that it? Is that everybody?
Oh, that's it, man. It's just thugs. You know.
All right, just thugs. All right, let's do it. All right. And Tony's doing all the thugs. So, Tony, you will be conversing with yourself in, looks like, a couple of these panels. But, or if needed, Vicky can jump in to save when Tony has to argue with himself. But all right. Page 1, panel 1, we got a park basketball court on a sunny day, covered in open wounds, bleeding. Lars is standing with his guard up in front of his friends who are on the ground, covered in blood and open wounds. Lars is surrounded by 6 thugs, each armed, be it a bat, knife, and or brass knuckles. And whenever I'm talking about formatting, it's easiest just to do it as I'm reading it because it's always hard for me to come back to it later. So I would go, you know, all right, here's you basically like your slug line, if you will, you know, calling out. And I tend to actually combine these, you know, and go a little bit of screenwriting format and go panel 1 dash park basketball court sunny day.
Wow.
And then that kind of saves you that line. And then, you know, you're able to open up, you know, covered in open wounds, bleeding. Liz is standing with the guard up in front of them. Boom. And then, yeah, and then the rest is fine. I might put in a carriage break because it's like a lot of open space. But other than that, it's you know, just want to point out the carriage trim. Okay, Liz Arkin, go. Or Lars Arkin.
I don't give a damn what you're gonna think you're gonna do, because I'm gonna hold down my friend to the bitter end. I'll fight to hold my down. What?
Because I'll fight to hold down my friends to the bitter end.
Okay.
Last words. I'm cool with that.
Panel 2 through 4. Lars is avoiding a lunging stab towards him from behind. Then Lars tackles the thug with an elbow to the spine, which causes the thug to be stabbed right in the stomach by another thug charging forward with his knife. Panel 5. The thug that was stabbed is holding onto his stomach, which is covered in blood, and as he appears to be fading away in dying, while the thug that stabbed him is charging towards Lars.
You fucked up. I'm gonna grave you.
Page 2, panel 1. Lars has his guard up as Thug 3 charges toward him with another knife as the 3 more thugs armed charge towards him. Panel 2, a close-up of Thug 1's mouth as he talks.
Fuck it.
Thug man, all right, we got Thug Life. Panel 3, blood is flying from Lars's head due to a gunshot to the head. Again, we got an echo there. You could just say, blood is flying from Lars's head due to a gunshot wound. And then let's see. Panel 4, Thug 1 is walking away from holding his pistols. The remaining thugs watch. I'm shocked as they see, or I think watch him shocked as they see that Lars is barely standing.
That's how we finish it here, peace sleeve.
Panel 5, Thug 1 is facing Lars in shock, who is charging towards him with an open wound bullet hole through his head.
I'm gonna bury y'all.
Tony. Did we lose Tony? I hope we didn't lose our thug. Please come back, Tony. All right, I'll do it. What in Christ's name is he made of? Page 3, panel 1. Thug is throwing a punch. Lars, who is closer to him, multiple bullets pierce through Lars from head to toe, including his eyes, as the remaining thugs draw their guns from behind. Is Tony gone? Okay, Vicky, take over.
Die already, shit.
That's thuggish. I love it. Panel 2. Lars is connecting to Thug 1's jaw with a haymaker, causing Thug 1 to fall backwards and toss his gun. Panel 3. Lars is attempting to get up, covered in blood, while on top of unconscious Thug 1. Lars' eyes shot out, so he is leaking blood all over, as the remaining thugs are shooting at him from behind, piercing his back with bullets. Page 4, panel 1. Covered in blood, leaking blood. On his knees, still being shot at, Lars is raising his hands towards the sky.
Tight.
Panel 2, a close-up of both Lars' wrists colliding.
Titonas.
Panel 3, all the thugs are covering their eyes with their guns as a bright light shines. Panel 4, the thugs are witnessing a cloud of mist from where Lars was on his knees.
What the fuck is this? I can do thug.
You can. You improv the this, which I think makes it even better. So, like that line sounds so natural, but that's not what's on the page. But okay.
All right.
The upper half of Thug 1 is flying into Thug 2 from being tossed out the cloud of mist. Panel 6, a Thug 2 is screaming as Thug 1's bloody corpse is on him, and the remaining thugs are shooting at the mist.
Get him the fuck off of me.
Page 5, panel 1.
Sorry.
No, off me.
I added a preposition. I apologize.
I love it. Look, you're a bit more educated thug. You can't quite get.
I can't quite
right?
remember. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Are shooting at a shadow silhouette. Titonos Titan leaping out of the mist. Panel 2, Titonos Titan is landing right on top of Thug 1, causing him, along with Thug 2 below him, to blow up into hundreds of pieces. Limbs and organs fly out of the panel as the remaining thugs watch in horror. Panel 3, Thug 4 is running away as the remaining thugs keep their eyes on Titonos Titan, who is reaching on the ground among the pieces of corpse to gather the head. Panel 4, the head of Thug 4 is exploding from the impact of being hit by the head of Thug 2, colliding with the back of his head, tossed by Titonos Titan. This is one of those sentences where you got some echoes with the word head, so it's a different way to get it. Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Page 6, panel 1, Titonos Titan is walking towards the 2 remaining thugs who are laughing with their eyes glowing.
We finally found you, Titonos Titan. Oh, how long I've waited to torture you.
Oh, I'm gonna clip that. This is gonna be a Vicky clip of that. There we go. Ancient Egypt, alleyway, shopping district. Egyptian bandits are beheading a group of young boys.
For centuries, we've been seeking your arrival, causing horror to awaken you.
Panel 3, Romaine home. A group of soldiers are holding a child, forcing him to watch as the 2 horses pull his father apart on opposite sides. Grim. All right.
bring about devastation to the innocents in hopes of luring you out of hiding.
Panel 4, African tribal land. A group of African tribal warriors are looking towards a burning village celebrating.
Engulfing entire villages into the flames of hell just to arouse your interest in punishing us for our devilish deeds.
Page 7, Panel 1, Thug 3 and Thug 6 are outgrowing their clothing as their muscles grow, shredding their clothing. Thug 3 is growing in height as Thug 4 is on 4 legs, developing dog-like legs. Panel 3, a close-up of Thug 4 growing 2 extra heads and far more dog than man. Panel 4, a Cerebros is charging towards Titonus Titan as an 8-foot Cyclops is digging through the concrete on the basketball court. Cerebros is leaping onto Titonus Titan, then tossing him, causing him to crash into the basketball rim, breaking it. Page 8, Titonus Titan is getting up as Cerebros is charging towards him. Panel 2, Titonus Titan is causing Cerebros to miss a charge at him by leaping over it. Panel 3, Cerebros is barking at Titonus Titan from below as he dives towards him. Panel 4, Titonus Titan is being struck by the Cyclops concrete club. Titonus Titan is crashing through the fence that was around the basketball court, then crashing onto the side of a minivan. Pieces of the side of the van are flying out of the panel. Panel 9, or page 9, panel 1. Besides the sidewalk, Titonus Titan is leaning up against the badly dented side of the minivan while sitting on the ground in discomfort as the owner is in front of him, yelling at him while on the phone.
I'll read this part. You're going to pay for this because you playing fuck. My bad.
Yeah. Panel 2, Titonus Titan.
I like that line.
Yeah. Titonus Titan is leaping and pushing the minivan owner aside as the Cyclops Club is flying towards the minivan. Panel 3. Titonus Titan, along with the minivan owner, are flying backwards from the minivan, exploding and pieces of it flying everywhere, even out the panel. Panel 4. Titonus Titan is attempting to get up while in front of him. The minivan owner is somehow still alive with shrapnel from the minivan sticking out of his body, including a long pipe sticking out of his head. Covered in blood, bleeding massive amounts of blood.
By God's sweaty sweat balls, I'm alive.
Panel 5, Cerebros is jumping towards the man from below, grabbing him with its strong jaws, then tossing him alive and swallowing him whole. If I'm an artist, I'm not exactly sure what you want me to draw on that one, so you might need to give a little more art direction. Page 10, panel 1, Titonus Titan is getting up as Cerebros is growing bigger. Panel 2, Titonus Titan is rolling out of the way as the Cyclops comes crashing down, holding its clubs, vertically crushing the tip of the club towards the ground. Panel 3 through 5, the impact of the club hitting the road causes Titonus Titan to crash in the front of a car, speeding, causing the car to flip over and crash into the front and causing a massive explosion. So there you go.
A lot of violence.
It is a lot of violence. All right. Oh, Tony's back. Hello, Tony.
Oh, hey, I got disconnected, I guess.
That's all right. That's all right. It was pretty thuggish. There was a lot of violence.
That was incredibly fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Okay, got this up. There we go. Well, I was too in the script to see that Tony had returned. So sorry about that. But are you charge shaming me? No, I would never charge shame you. Okay, so who wants to go first? Vicky, you got anything else positive?
It rolled really well. I dug all the violence. It was fun. It was and you did a nice job of the pulling it through history.
Yeah. John?
Yeah, I would say I like the violence too. I thought it being so like ultra violent added to the tone of this kind of surreal, comedic, violent, like horror comedy thing. It kind of had that kind of feel to it, just because it was so over the top with. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's visually I thought it was really cool.
Tony?
Yeah, I agree. Visually, I could see it happening as it was being read. I do like the dialogue as well. It's very funny. And yeah, basically everything else everybody else said.
Right.
I liked it.
Yeah, the minivan driver was awesome too.
Uh-huh.
He was hilarious.
Yeah, that cosplay line
Yeah.
was pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's superhero-y. It's got a lot of violence, and he's beating up some thugs. I feel like so far it has what I would hope from a superhero comic. Clearly, we're going for like a gritty. I want to say, like perhaps Blade or something kind of feel to it. But I'm digging it. Thugs that seem to be taking up the first 10 pages. So I'm kind of wondering, like, okay, we got a hero and we have a world, but where's the conflict that ties the hero to some story that has a super duper bad guy at the end of it? So that was I'm wondering that. John.
I felt like I think some of the panels were overwritten. I think there's a lot of action going on in each panel, and I think some of it might be a little too much than what can be drawn in one actual panel. I'm not sure if when you're writing your panels, if you're seeing one frame in your head and visualizing what that frame should look like and then describing it, or if you're visualizing a scene or like a shot like you would in a movie and then trying to write that.
You got a point. You got a good point.
Yeah, like the one where the Cerebus eats the minivan driver is a good example of that one, because he leaps up and then grabs him and then swallows him whole. So,
All right.
I mean, it could be done, but it would have to be either described out more. It could be like a rolling kind of panel where you have like the action shots going through. But yeah, I would definitely pay a little bit more attention to that.
Tony.
Let's see. For me, it feels like it went by a little bit too quickly. I think that's more personal preference, though. I think it's like for the tone that you're going for, it is paced fine. I'm more of a slow burn kind of guy myself, but again, for like this like goofy and like ultra violent exploitation vibe, it works. Other than that, just go through, check for spelling and grammar.
Boy, agree with that.
Yeah. Cool. All right, there we go. That's
Well, except for the thug grammar, because that was
Oh,
just just me. Sorry, but that was just automatic. That was like autopilot. Sorry, my tongue just couldn't do it.
All right. So, Tony, are you presenting tonight?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And where are your pages? Are your pages on the new server?
They're on the new server.
All right, scripts only. Oh, there they are. Look at you using the new server and everything.
Yeah.
The server is less than 24 hours old.
And this is a continuation of the last part that I brought in.
All right.
It could also be, it could also be an alternate start.
Right.
It depends on. Oh, anyway, only 2 roles for this: Sam and Cat Kid. Preston, would you be the narrator?
Okay.
Yeah. John, could you be Sam?
I think Vic should be woman.
No, we start at page 14.
Oh, okay. Page 14. Sorry.
Script page 14 or PDF page 14?
Hmm?
PDF page 14 or the script page 14?
The script page, which would be in the PDF, would be 16.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep. 16,
Okay.
Page 14, 4 panels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Vicky, could you be Cat Kid?
Sure.
All right.
And that's it?
Yeah.
All right, page 14. Share it with the group. Maybe stretch it out a little bit. Give my eyes a little bit more. Oh, there we go. Sam drives his car with Cat Kid in the passenger seat. Sam sits rigid and upright, clutching the steering wheel, while Cat Kid spreads his legs with his feet on the dashboard, making himself comfortable at Sam's expense. Panel 2, the car parks on the street in front of the boarded-up suburban home. The grass in the front lawn is dead, and the gutters are hanging from the roof.
This is the place. Now, if you would get out of my car.
Panel 3, Cat Kid steps out of the car, squinting at the plate. Unimpressed, Sam comes around, holding a doctor's bag in one hand and walking with a cane in the other.
This is it? 3 days of orientation and I get assigned to a crappy little haunted house?
Funny thing, there was a haunted spa resort we had lined up just for you. Never heard back from them.
Panel 4, Sam takes the lead, marching into the house as Cat Kid lazily legs behind him.
Oh, haha, funny. Didn't think I'd be working with a comedian.
Panel 1, Cat Kid and Sam enter the home. The floor and furniture are coated with dust. Holes are punched in the drywall and ceiling, along with some graffiti marked on the walls. Cat Kid takes a look around while Sam walks on ahead.
I'll make preparations. Try not to break anything.
I won't.
Panel 2, Sam unpacks his bag. A faint psst is heard in the background. Panel 3, Sam looks up from his bag with an expression of disgust. Panel 4, Cat Kid stands in the corner, his back turned to Sam. Between Cat Kid's legs, a suspicious yellow liquid trail down the wall.
What the hell are you doing?
Taking a piss.
Panel 5, Sam stands up, crosses... Boy, Vicky's got all the spicy lines today. Panel 5, Sam stands up, crosses his arms, his expression deadpan. Cat Kid zips up.
Go on. I'm sure you have a brilliant explanation.
I'm marking this place as my territory. It always whips up ghosts into a frenzy. We'll get this one in half the time you normally bag them.
Panel 6, Sam turns his back to Cat Kid and rolls his eyes. Kneeling back down to his bag and pulling out a spray can, Cat Kid walks away.
You say so. In the meantime, let me do my job. Maybe the summoning spray will cover up the smell.
Shows what you know.
Page 16, 5 panels. Sam sprays a white substance from a can on the wall. POV from the wall. The white paint should fit. All right, so this is a POV shot from the wall of Sam spraying a white substance from a can onto it. Should fill the left of the panel with Sam visible on the right. All right, cool. Panel 2, Cat Kid lays on the couch looking up at the ceiling, all smug. Sam, his back turned to Cat Kid, pulls a line of tape off the wall, the spray having formed clear patterns, and runs.
Runes.
Runes.
Huh.
Yeah, he's not wearing his glasses. Give him a break.
No, I know. I saw that was ruins, but I thought, didn't he just spray paint on the wall? Isn't that paint gonna run? Why would there be ruins there?
He painted a rune on the wall.
Oh, okay, got it. All right.
Yeah. So, Sam, how long you been a suit?
5 years.
And you're what, 40?
29.
And I've done a number of painting jobs, and I'm just used to looking for runs. You know, the subconscious. Sam continues spraying the wall, not bothering to turn around.
What's your favorite?
You know, I'd really prefer you be quiet.
Panel 4, Cat Kid rolls onto his back and stares up at the ceiling, one leg up, his foot waving up and down.
And I'd prefer to annoy you. But I'll be the bigger man and shut up for a bit, just out of the kindness of my heart.
Panel 5, view from above, Sam continues to spray while Cat Kid continues to lay on the couch. They are surrounded by shadow. Page 17, panel 1. Very small, tight panels, split close-ups of Cat Kid's eyes and Sam's eyes, both of them wide open and surprise reaction. Panel 2, Cat Kid leaps into the air from the couch as it is smashed in two by massive translucent fist. Panel 3, chunks of the couch and floor, splinters of wood and springs engulfed in a cloud of dust fly at Sam, who stands up straight against the wall holding his cane. 18, 2 panels. Sam swings his cane, deflecting the debris with a wave of telekinesis, the wood and metal and dust flying every which way. Panel 2, a hulking invisible figure is partially revealed by a shockwave of dust from behind. Cat Kid springs to his feet and charges it. 19, panel 5. Cat Kid flies by the ghost, slashing at his side. A jet of green ectoplasm shoots from it as it screams in pain. Panel 2. The ghost escapes through a wall, trailing through it in a blur of its ghostly aura. Sam stands upright with his cane, not intending to catch it.
Don't let it get away.
Panel 3. Cat Kid scratches at the wall, slicing 4 deep gashes into it.
Damn it.
Panel 4. Cat Kid points his finger angrily at Sam, who pulls a phone out of his pocket.
The hell? It came right at you and you let it go.
I'm calling for backup. Wait outside.
Panel 5. Cat Kid tilts his head in frustrated confusion at Sam, who taps his phone.
You can't be serious.
This is a Class 4 poltergeist. As per regulation, we need a team to dispatch. This operation can't progress until we...
Panel 1. Cat Kid rushes off after the ghost. Sam stands idly in the background, looking at his phone.
Screw it. I'll handle this myself.
No, stop. Come back.
Panel 2. Sam tilts his head slightly to the side, eyes glancing after the general area Cat Kid ran off to. Panel 3. He lowers his phone, rolling his eyes and sighing. Panel 4. He leaves the room, taking his bag with him. Page 21. Panel 1. Cat Kid stands at the entrance of the basement. A long, pitch-black staircase descends before him. Panel 2. Cat Kid descends the staircase, smashing the guardrail into splinters, stomping his way down.
Come out, asshole. I know you're down here. I can smell you.
Panel 4. Cat Kid scratches a gash across the wood paneling on the wall.
This is my house now.
Panel 4. He kicks a dent in a dryer.
Here's what I think of your property.
Panel 4. Cat Kid flips open a couch, stuffing flying out from where his claws graze it.
Get out here and face me already.
Panel 5. Cat Kid recoils slightly with a goofy expression as a cane swats him across the tip of the ear.
Cut that out.
22. Panel 1. Cat Kid rubs the tip of his ear indignantly. Sam waves the cane at him like a teacher's pointer.
Did you just cane me? What are you, an 80-year-old?
Do you honestly believe that throwing a tantrum is going to get us anywhere?
Panel 2. View from the side of the room of Cat Kid and Sam bickering. An ominous aura frames the two. They are being watched by the poltergeist.
Actually, yeah. Ghosts are drawn to negative energy. I'm not just spazzing out down here.
I don't care. We need to call in backup first. Then we can talk strategy later.
Panel 3. Same POV, higher angle as the ghost watches them from the ceiling, getting closer to them.
We don't need backup. I can pound this guy to paste with an arm behind my back.
This isn't a debate. We're leaving now.
Go right ahead. There's the door.
Panel 4. POV, the ghost watches the two from the ceiling directly above them.
You know, I'm really tempted to leave without you, but I'd have to put that in the report.
Oh, threatening to reprimand me? I'm so scared you're making the hairs between my tail and asshole stand up.
Spicy. Panel 5. Sam and Cat Kid get in each other's faces.
I'm going to need you to shut up now.
Back off.
Panel 6. Closer angle of the two going head to head. Cat Kid rears back to strike.
You really don't want to.
I said.
Page 23. Panel 1. Sam is shoved across the room as a massive translucent hand comes down from the ceiling on Cat Kid moments before crushing him.
Back off.
Panel 2. Sam slams against the concrete wall in midair. Panel 3. Cat Kid wrestles with the giant hand's fingers as it picks him up the thick clouds of dust, making the hand almost completely visible.
Couldn't resist, eh?
Panel 4. Cat Kid sinks his teeth in the ghost's finger. Panel 5. The ghost screams, its finger recoiling with Cat Kid still clinging on Sam gets to his feet in the foreground. 10 pages. So I thought that was pretty good.
I love Cat Kid.
Yeah, Tony is not here, but
We
Tony?
lost Tony again.
yeah, wherever you are, I thought it was pretty good. I think it's definitely better than last time. Big Steve liked it. He's saying that this was fun, and it was. So that was cool. I one of the major improvements you made over the last time I saw Cat Kid pages, I think you really selected more of a tone. So I know I'm going with a kind of irreverent, a little crude, but still heroic. Basically hero story, and it's not bad so far. So, John.
I also liked it a lot more than the last time we heard from Cat Kid. I like the buddy cop angle that you're playing with. I think there's a good potential for growth between these characters, kind of mate bonding and whatnot, and I can kind of see that that's where the relationship between these two characters is going. So I think it's a really good setup for an issue 1 for characters and for character growth.
Yeah, I totally agree with John. I thought it was nicely paced. I liked I really did like the relationship between the two. That was or the developing relationship between the two. But I kind of like the snarky youth older dude who apparently isn't much older, which is kind of surprising. I liked that bit of it too. That whatever it is that he's been doing has prematurely aged him. Yeah, I thought it was great. Great fun.
Moby.
Well, I mean, from what I've heard, reading, to me it sounds like a very fun book. A lot of roughhousing between the characters. I just think maybe page 1 to 3, where you had it a little too slow with scratching the wall. Because the only thing I think that might hurt a book like this is if he takes too long on certain certain things happening on the panel. And maybe he has to, because it's so much conversation revolved around the script. You might want them to do more, more cat-like things. You want to impress the reader where they're reading the panel. Maybe the cat kid is hanging on the wall with one claw on there. You just want to keep their interest while they're reading. You don't want too many panels where they're just talking, or sitting too long in one position. You just want to give the artist, okay, just draw him on top of her head or something. Stand in there. You want a little more of that visual humor, since you're not doing a lot of action until the later pages. But other than that, the conversation was smooth, and it flowed well. He just has to make sure that the panels are more fun, because you have such a long conversation.
There you go. Constructives, John?
The one thing that jumped out at me was that I'm not sure why Sam puts up with his BS, and maybe that was established in the previous pages.
I was wondering that one myself. Yeah.
I could. So maybe if there was a bit more setup onto why Cat Kid is assigned to him and why he needs that assignment to be successful, would give me a little bit of investment in the stakes.
Right.
Because otherwise, if he thinks he needs to call for backup and this punk upstart is going to break all the rules, well, and at this point we don't have any kind of relationship rapport between these two characters, so I don't really see why he would put himself out for Cat Kid. So I think that if there needs to be some kind of reason why he wouldn't just go outside and, you know, because
Well,
even in military and police and that kind of thing, it's like, yes, you get partners, and yes, you're supposed to protect your partner, but if your partner is acting like a stupid idiot and is going to get himself killed, I don't think you're obligated to get yourself killed protecting your partner from, you know, that's kind of
well,
where I'm going.
in based on the first 10 pages, I don't know how much of that he changed because I didn't read it. It was Cat Kid was a new recruit. And just like poor Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon and Predator 2, he was assigned his new partner. So, to keep an eye on him kind of thing. So just putting that out there. But I'm pretty sure that that's covered in the first 10 pages. Or it was in the first the original 10 pages. I don't know how much he's changed it, like I said. But I don't know, because I really enjoyed I really liked how all the panels were described. I loved all the various angles. I loved the stuff from the ceiling and from the point of view of the walls and stuff like that. So but as far as constructives, I'm kind of at a loss at the moment.
Yeah. Cool. There we go. All right. So that was Cat Kid again. Big improvement. John, did you have some pages?
I did.
Okay.
I brought something a little bit different. Just
okay. Let's see. We got Angel of Darkness. There we go.
It's a screenplay.
A screenplay. Okay.
Screenplay. Nice.
Screw comic books. Comic books suck.
Careful, somebody's gonna clip that and say you just don't care about comics.
Yeah, I'm starting a sex cult. I'm like, I haven't given that any thought, but now that you say that, that's a pretty good idea. I should probably. I will certainly take that under advisement, sir. Let's see. All right, Angel of Darkness. All right, assign the parts.
Wow, there's actually a lot. So.
You're still
all
there.
right, Preston, you're going to read for Amos and yeah, I'm going to say Amos and nope, because they're talking to him.
It's all right. Preston talks to himself all the time.
All the time. So who's doing Ojuku or Juku?
Moby, you can do Ojuko, and Vicky, you can do Nikita, and
All right.
And there's Aaron
and Ridley,
and Moby, you can do Ridley.
Ridley and Ojuko. I play an American and a foreigner. Thank you.
You can do this.
Technically, they're all foreigners because they're Brits. They're Brits and Southern Rhodesians.
And then which one am I? Amos, right?
Amos, and let's see. You can do.
We also have a Hon.
I need a Honso.
A Honso, yeah.
And then Aaron.
I'll be Honso. So.
Okay. And then I think Aaron has some lines, so Vicky can do Aaron too.
So I'm Aaron and Nikita.
Girl. Yeah, and Servant Girl, I'm assuming, right?
Sure, why not? And I'll read the narration.
Okay.
Just to make it easy. And if you guys see anything I missed, then just feel free to jump in.
Don't worry, I will absolutely let you know.
Because there's a lot of characters in the very beginning.
All right, go for it.
All right. Exterior, African desert, day. A wide expanse of desert, only scattered palm trees break up the hills and plateaus. In the approaching distance, train tracks. A steam locomotive barrels forward. Desert train tracks. A 9-coach passenger locomotive. Cape to Cairo Railways. Steam releases from the chimney. A whistle blows. Brakes hiss. Exterior Bulawayo train station. A few dozen travelers waiting on the small platform gather up their belongings as the train rolls to a stop. Super, British colony of Southern Rhodesia, 1939. Passengers disembark. 3 British Army officers stand out amongst the crowds in their sharp creased uniforms. Colonel Charles Amos, a Londoner with a long family heritage of military officers, focused, determined, follows orders and gets the job done no matter what. Major Damon Hansu, a North African native, migrated to Europe in the 1910s as a teenager, served with distinction in World War I. And Second Lieutenant Erin Rice, an English country girl who's escaped poverty by enlisting in the British Armed Forces. She garnered a reputation as a skilled sniper and mechanic. The 3 are greeted by a British Army captain, Onjoko. Unlike the 3 foreigners, his uniform is a bit disheveled and faded. Ojukwu salutes as they approach.
Colonel Charles Amos, my associate Major Damon Hansel, and our secretary, Second Lieutenant Erin Rice.
Welcome to Babalua.
Onjoko extends his hands. They shake.
We have Jeep waiting to take us in town.
Love the accent.
Exterior Desert Road day. Ojukwu drives a Willys Jeep down a long winding desert road with his 3 passengers. Amos sits in the front with Ojukwu. Hansu and Erin share the rear bench. A metal extension tray mounted on the Jeep's rear houses their luggage. The road stretches on for miles of desert in nearly a straight line. Exterior Bulawayo Town Center day. The houses and buildings along the main road share African and European influences, the exception being the Anglican Church. On both sides of the road, a marketplace bustles with traders. Ojukwu lays on the Jeep's horn, diverting the crowds. Erin stands up in the back of the Jeep. She eyes the crowd, enjoying the sights, sounds, and smells of the marketplace. A few residents take notice, comments in Shona mixed with noises of the trade. Once the Jeep passes, the crowds fill in the gaps as if they were never there. Exterior Mayor Ridley's house. A large 2-story mansion, strong Anglican influences in its architecture cause it to stand out from the town. Onjoko parks out front. Servants greet them.
This way.
Onjoko leads the 3 officers up to the house. Interior Mayor Ridley's house, foyer. A young servant girl, 12, leads them inside as Mayor Arthur Ridley, a British aristocrat so far removed from royalty, Mayor of Bulawayo is the highest office he'll ever hold, greets them with a smile.
Oh yeah, I was Ridley, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good morning, sirs and ladies. Welcome. Would you inform Lady Ridley? Oh, I think, is that someone else?
No, it's still you.
Oh, would you inform Lady Ridley we have guests?
Upstairs, overlooking the foyer, a petite figure watches from around the corner. She steps away at the sound of her name. Interior Ridley's quarters. The servant girl taps on the door before letting herself in. Nikita Ridley, 16, a former slave from North Africa before being wed to the mayor, attempts to don a fancy European dress. She turns to the servant girl standing in the doorway.
Quickly, help me put this on.
The servant girl approaches, lacing up the back of the dress.
My lady. Shh. Our guests are proper English, and I must represent my husband to them well. Yes, my lady.
Interior dining hall. Several servants lay out an elaborate feast as the mayor leads the officers into the dining room.
Please take a seat. We shall begin as soon as...
Ridley cuts himself short, spotting Nikita standing in the doorway. Young, gorgeous, her petite body barely fills out the dress. The dress makes her appear as a proper Englishwoman.
Officers, may I present my wife, the Lady Ridley of Buffaloa.
The servant girl bows, excusing herself.
Good morning.
Ridley beams with pride. Nikita smiles and curtsies almost perfectly. Erin chuckles to herself, being the only one to notice. Amos and Hansu bow at her presence. The six take a seat as the servants begin serving the food.
That's a lovely dress. Thank you. My husband had it ordered all the way up from London.
How long has it been since you were last home?
Bulawayo is my home. I have everything I want right here. Oh, sorry. That was not mine. That was...
No, it is yours. That is absolutely yours. Ridley. Oh, wait, no, Ridley is Moby. Sorry.
Moby.
Buffaloa is my home. I have everything I want right here.
Nikita raises her glass.
To home. May the war end quickly so we might all return soon.
Hear, hear. Who's Hansu? Is that me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Oh,
go ahead.
very well spoken.
The Anglicans hold English lessons twice a week, but perhaps it will take time spent in London to lose my accent.
My family immigrated to England shortly after I was born, but I don't know much outside of London.
Your family? Where are they from?
A small farming village in North Africa. Sadly, the entire territory has been lost to the Italians, so it's been hard to keep in touch.
I am sorry to hear that.
Moby. Moby, you here?
He's muted.
Oh, you mean say, my bad.
There we
Do
go.
you plan to stay long?
Our train departs at 10:00 tomorrow. We're due in Cairo in 2 weeks and have many stops.
For as long as you need, my home is your home.
Exterior Mayor Ridley's house, later. Ojoko leads Amos and Hansu back to the jeep. Erin lags a few steps behind. Looking back, she sees Ridley and Nikita speaking softly to each other as they exit to another room.
Please tell Lady Ridley we appreciate her hospitality. Yes, ma'am. It seems the Lord and Lady are good for each other. Lady Ridley has been a welcome addition to the house. She has made him a better man.
Ojoko honks the horn, getting Erin's attention.
Excuse me. Of course.
The servant girl bows, takes her leave. Interior Ridley's quarters. The servant girl helps Nikita out of the dress and hangs it in the closet. Nikita walks to the window, watches the officers leave.
My lady, are you okay? Would you
Nikita
excuse me? Oh, sorry.
Nikita forces a smile.
Would you excuse me? I can finish myself.
The servant girl bows, excusing herself from the room. Nikita walks to a wall, pushes on it. It moves, sliding open to reveal a small hidden room, a shrine. Interior ceremonial chamber. A prayer rug sits in the center of the small room, surrounded by candles, human remains including a child's skull, feathers, petrified rodent limbs, and various herb roots and leaves. Nikita kneels in the center, lights the candles. Facing the skull, she whispers an incantation and prayer in Shona. Interior Anglican Church, Sanctuary. 100 or so young African men, conscripts, between ages 18 and 30, sit in pews as Njoko stands at the front. Amos, Hansu, and Erin sit in the front pew.
Thank you all for coming. I want to introduce you to the Colonel of the British Army, Charles Amos.
Amos walks to the front.
Hello, gentlemen. I also want to thank you for coming. What we're asking of you isn't easy, that's for sure. And I thought slavery was outlawed in British colonies.
Several snide remarks echo through the room.
Men in my own country are being called to the service of their country. It's a white man's war. Let the white man fight it. War is coming, gentlemen. Mussolini has already taken villages in the northern continent. Do you think he won't venture south? Do you really think Hitler will stop at the Indian Sea? We take the fight to them so that war doesn't end up on your children's doorstep.
The conscripts mutter to themselves. Amos waves on Njoko and Aaron. They begin handing out envelopes to each of the men.
Inside these envelopes, you will find your contacts. It states your salary, stipends, and benefits. Your service to the crown can have a great many benefits. Benefits we don't even get if we're shot to pieces. Yeah, but some of you won't be coming home. But by joining us, you will ensure that your wives and children have a future.
Interior Njoko home, living room. A small, quaint little home. Amos, Hanzo, and Njoko sit in the living room talking. Interior Njoko in the kitchen. Captain Njoko's wife prepares the meal. Aaron enters.
Do you need assistance? No, dear. You mustn't let that nice suit of yours get dusty or dirty.
Aaron removes her suit jacket, revealing a white silk blouse underneath.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Rolling up her sleeves, Aaron moves to the wash basin, scrubs a pot.
A lady officer in the army. It wasn't easy, that's for sure, but I know it's the right thing to do. In this war, I grew up in the streets, raised by my sister. Our parents were killed during the Great War. The Great War because one just wasn't enough. Where is your sister? Did she also join the army? No, she died. I'm sorry.
Aaron shakes the water off the pot, sets it aside, points to another sitting by Mrs. Njoko.
Would you hand me that?
The church bells ring loudly. Mrs. Njoko walks to the window. Aaron follows. Living room. Amos, Hanzo, and Njoko approach the windows. Bang! A bloody hand smacks the window pane. Exterior Bulawato streets. Panicking crowds race down the street. Yells, screams, then a low growl, a roar. A horde of blood-soaked people chase after them, tackling the fleeing crowds. Some bite and tear at the crowds with their teeth. Others rip arms and legs off. Bloods, innards, bones flow through the street. The blood-soaked horde approach the house, banging on the doors and windows. They break glass, climbing inside the windows. Others bang fists on the doors, repeatedly, and while it breaks bones in their hands, they appear immune to pain, continually breaking their own body against the doors until it falls to pieces.
Okay. Welcome back, Tony.
Oh, man. Man, I think that's, my internet provider just shut down for a solid 20, 30 minutes. Now it got back here.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like the one time out of, I think, 2 years that this actually happened. So, man.
Hello, William.
Blame the C-19,
Hello.
man.
So,
The
William,
zombies were a nice surprise at the end. John, just saying. Yeah.
Vicky, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
I just did.
Okay.
I liked the pacing. The description. It was very descriptive.
Yeah.
You start getting a really good sense of the characters and who they are. Yeah. And like I said, the zombies were fun at the end. Nice surprise leading into the next 10.
You're tackling a difficult work here. As writing as speaking as somebody who has, written their own World War II story. There's always a lot going on, and you've always got the you don't want the war to overshadow the characters. But here we're clearly seeing a group of interesting characters who are having some cultural differences. Seeing if they can kind of unite against a common outside enemy. Your writing, in terms of how you write the script, has really gotten a lot better since I last saw you in Venice Beach. It's not just the formatting now. The words are evocative and give a real tone for the emotion of the scene. And kudos for that. All right, William, did you hear any of that, the script?
No, I just showed up.
All right. Tony, did you hear any of the script?
Just the tail end of it.
Moby, what did you think?
Well, as a very educated man and a scholar, I got a feel of a downtown Abbey in Africa. That's that's the type of feel I got for it. Like a lot of this book is deeply rooted on conversation and how the people are living their lives, extravagantly and so on. So I get a very downtown Abbey in Africa. You know what I mean? I hope you take that as a compliment.
Oh, I do. That was one of the things that I felt was tricky about this was how do you write a British colony in Africa and make it feel that it's because I would see it as a blend of two worlds, and I really, really tried hard to capture that. So if that's what you saw in it, that's what I was going for.
Well, the only problem I have, man, that this might be the British in me, but you had not one scene of somebody sipping or drinking tea, man.
You know what? You know what? That is a good point because I was thinking as I was reading that when they're sitting in the living room and I have them just talking, I was thinking they should be drinking coffee. But you're right; they should be drinking tea.
Yes.
So I'm going to make a note to myself, and I'm going to have them sitting there drinking tea.
That's right, sir.
Yeah, that's good.
Constructive wise, it's a little hard to follow who I'm supposed to be following because there's so many different people. So like,
Don't worry, as the story goes, people start dying off, and then you figure it out.
Okay, fair enough. So, like, look, I know this is like the first 10 pages, and you got a lot of stuff to set up, but just, I haven't quite found who I'm supposed to be following yet.
I think it's Aaron.
Okay.
But that's just me. Maybe just because I kind of dig Aaron.
Vicky, got any constructive stuff?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
All right. Cool. All right. See, and with a title like Angel of Darkness, I was sure this was going to be like supernatural. I was sure this was going to be like vampire and boobs and stuff, but now I have a technical question. Is this how a comic book script should be written? Or is this... Oh, that was a screenplay. So, no, that is not how a comic book script should be written. Comic book script should be written in panels. You need to break down the page into panels. But screenplays, you don't have pages and panels. You just...
Unless you're Doug TenNapel, because that's how he writes his comics, actually. Yeah, he starts with a screenplay.
Really? Oh, okay. Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. So...
Learn something new every day, don't you?
Exactly.
Actually, it does I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tony.
It does kind of make sense in that you're not preoccupied with, what panels are going to fit where, how many panels is this page going to be. It's more stream of consciousness.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly can be.
Yeah, that's what he does. He does the screenplay first, and then he breaks it down into panels and pages. Yeah.
Oh. So that means I'm actually a secret genius then, because that's what I did on on Wizard's Daughter.
There you go.
Exactly.
Damn.
Yeah, Doug did a video about it when he was scripting for, I want to say, Earthworm Jim 2.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but nice. Everybody had great stuff tonight.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch the replay to see what you guys said about mine.
All right, cool. I like the emotion better. I saw a movie yesterday off of Amazon Prime, called Guns Akimbo, which I really enjoyed.
Oh, I saw that. That was nuts.
Yeah, it was
very good.
It was really great.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Also based on a comic book, apparently.
I mean, it certainly felt like one. So, and that movie had me hooked in like the first 30 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's really good. But at the same time, like, you clearly understand that the main character is never in any danger. Like he has just walls of plot armor. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of dangerous situation he's in, the plot will not allow him to die. And the story makes that fairly obvious, so it instead kind of ends up going for this comedic, romance developing between two people who are trying to kill each other. But, they're not really in danger because the plot is protecting them. And so it's kind of playing more with the comedic angles. Not to mention the commentary about social media and society is absolutely priceless. So that was a good movie. But I was reminded of that movie during the Cat Kid stuff because, Cat Kid is just acting like, yeah, there's a level 4 poltergeist. What's it to you? Why, like, Cat Kid clearly is not concerned about the level 4 poltergeist. Like, he just doesn't care. Mm-hmm. And I have to wonder, well, why does Cat Kid not care and his partner cares? It's either the ghost is either important or he's not important. And I didn't quite understand why Cat Kid either had such confidence over the ghost. Like, is he just really good at beating ghosts? Or does he just really not care what happens to his life? So I wasn't clear on that part of your story. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, you'll have to look at that in replay and check it out. But,
yeah. I kind of got the impression that it wasn't a big deal to him because it's something he'd run across before. Plus, he thinks he's Billy Badass.
But isn't Sam more experienced of the two? Because Sam's like the senior partner of the two.
Yeah, so he wants to be by the book.
Okay, but shouldn't Sam be the one who's not concerned?
Oh, like, not concerned how?
All right. So how important is a level 4 poltergeist?
Well, it's important enough that they need to call a team in.
But it's not, because Cat Kid goes in and confronts it directly.
And he's like, I don't need to follow the rules. I've taken care of these things all the time.
So then how important is a level 4 poltergeist?
Well, I mean, I might have to make that clearer.
Okay.
I think he needs to make the character, how Lethal Weapon, how Mel Gibson was the rookie, but he's more crazy. I think you need to have more of the outlook. Maybe Cat Kid drinks. Maybe, you add elements to the character where as soon as the person reading or sees him, he would do it. He's that crazy. He smokes. Or you add elements where the character's image tells you he's a loose cannon, Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon, man. Lethal Weapon.
And it's clearly not as big a deal as a Class 5 free roaming paper. But yeah, like, that part of the story doesn't quite make sense. Like, the level 4 poltergeist is either important or it's not, and Cat Kid's acting like it's not, and Sam, the more experienced partner, seems to be acting like kind of more annoyed more than anything. Like, neither of those characters are acting like, oh my God, level 4, we've never fought one of these. They're like, oh God. Sam, if anything, is acting like the paperwork. I have to call a team. I mean, as if like HR sat Sam down and said, "Now look, you can't you put the ghosts in the traps by yourself anymore above a certain class. Anything above level 3 poltergeist, you have to call in a team before you go in and say, like, I gotta do the drill because otherwise they'll yell at me." But again, those stakes are not important to an audience. The audience isn't going to go, oh goodness, I sure hope Sam doesn't get yelled at by the internal affairs department. So the attitude in which they're facing the ghost causes the ghost to not be appear as at all threatening.
And I actually had considered just scrapping this part altogether and doing, like, having a different first mission. There were actually like 3 different, like, completely different setups for the first mission that they're going to be on. Okay. And I think that's the stumbling block that I've been facing, is that I don't know really how to, like, establish these characters under those circumstances.
I think to hop on what Preston said, you might need to have where, how the cops radio in the issue, and then you have the command center relay whether they got to wait for backup and so on. And that way you could jump into the characters, how crazy they are. I'll do it no matter what, or we don't have time to wait. Let's take action. And then with having an issue of deciding what the characters are, I would say let the action and the conflict lead the way. Like you're writing, okay, it's a level 4 problem. Write the problem and slowly you build the characters on top of the problem. Okay, this is happening. How would this character react? You build it off a reaction, since you're saying you don't have like a full direction of what the characters are yet. So I would say lean on the conflict and build the characters around that. So that way he's reacting this way, that way, then you're slowly building the character versus you're trying to seek the character over the conflict. I would say let the conflict lead the script, man, and just write around it, how they react, That'll be easier for you.
Yeah.
So there we go. All right. Anyone else have pages to present?
No.
Did William just come to hang out?
I guess we just came to hang out.
Yeah, I haven't got anything. I just got like a piece of something.
Okay. All right.
I mean, yeah, I'd have to. I mean, if you need something else to share, I guess I could upload what I got.
We've been going an hour and 15. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last week we only had one script.
Pardon?
The last week we only had one script.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was definitely a step up.
Yeah, was this script that you guys were talking about like a superhero? Because I was just going over it a little bit.
Cat Kid seems superhero-y. Tony, go ahead and tell us about Cat Kid.
Yeah, well, Cat Kid is a rogue paranormal vigilante who's recently been recruited by this paranormal organization, like a official, not quite government, but they're an organization that's more by the book. They recruit him as a alternative of throwing him in jail, and he's reluctantly being put in their program to patrol and everything.
Well, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It kind of Men in Blacky.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
And then Men in Black.
yeah. I'm feeling pretty good about my Guinevere pages. I didn't get them quite done before, but I intend to present them next week, and it will be, I think, the third time. Yeah, the third time I presented these pages, possibly the fourth. The pages where Gatsby returns Guinevere after he rescues her from the android. That sequence of images and pages that happen after that. So that'll be the third time. And in terms of writing it, I think I've rewritten it at least that many. So, the pages were okay, but I really don't like pages that are just okay. Like they feel like filler or flat. I'm always looking, well, can I just cut these things? I'm like, no, I can't cut them. There's too much plot that I'm conveying here and world building and all that. But I think I made it a lot more interesting and exciting. So we'll see that next week.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, very cool.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, there's a link down below for Guinevere and the Divinity Factory Kickstarter. It's now over 4,000. So I encourage everybody to go check that out. And I created a new tier because we sold out of all the initial covers. Oh, and by the way, Darth Lunga has been talking a little nicer to me since the departure of Zombie. But I saw that Darth Lunga has taken his Isidira and the Mortal Chains and has prepared a Kickstarter for that. He's found an artist, and so he's that is somebody who has gone just from presenting pages to the script to actually making their own comic book. So I'm so glad that he's doing that. Yes, exactly. And thanks to all the viewers and all of that. So I'm glad that the show is inspiring people, and and we have fans out there who are writing. I do get messages from people who are, writing their own comics, and they're like, I watch the show quite a bit, and like they even go back and rewatch certain scenes when they're like, oh, I remember they talked about this problem. So that's cool. So I'm glad that this is taking part in creating more comic books, and I'm going to be interested, like because I intend to do this for a while. Like 2 years from now or 3 years from now, how many different comic books we'll be able to point to that they got their start right here on this stream? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But I have a feeling the number is going to be more than 5.
Preston, you gotta make them credit you as their writing godfather.
They will. They will. That's what the trademark is for. That's why I'm applying for another one. I will be. that will be the just the ring step. Is if I brand the book. There we go. So,
yeah.
Awesome. But,
Excellent.
I look forward to it. All right, everybody. Well, this has been Preston Polter, Pocket Jacks Comics. Thank you very much for your time.
Good night.
Good night.
Everybody.
Thanks, chat.
Good night.
Remember, people, write on.